What's good, Drumheads?
You hit the camera.
Hello. Okay. I need to make this video. First off, holy crap, that last video I posted has blown up on YouTube. I think it has like 140,000 views now. And that's freaking insane! I've been making YouTube videos since like 2011, and never have I ever seen this much activity on my channel as far as like subscribers and views. It's freaking awesome that you guys seem to be enjoying this stuff, and I'm just super pumped about it. So thank you for all the activity with the last video. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully you enjoy future content, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. So recently I've been getting asked a lot of questions about kind of my gear and my studio setup here. So I figured in this video I'd just kind of give you the rundown on things that I'm using. I'll kind of go over what I'm using on my kit, stuff around the room, I don't know, any little things that I can think of, anything that I use to kind of create these videos. I'll kind of talk about it in this video. This is basically just a spare bedroom in the house. It's all about the angle too, you know? I painted the walls black, but I only had enough paint to get halfway on that wall. So that wall's just white. You know, you position it so you just see the black, you think, oh, nice studio. But then you realize it's actually like our storage closet too. Yeah. So I built these sound panels all along the wall because if this room were bare, these walls are concrete. So if you were to play drums in a concrete box, then you can imagine how echoey and reverby it is. So I built these just kind of like deaden the sound. So I built the frame out of like 3/4 inch MDF like this. I put this like burlap kind of backing on it, and I cut out a square of insulation, basically what you put behind the drywall in your house. Same stuff, put the insulation in there, and then kind of wrapped it like a canvas with this fabric, and that made the panel. And now the sound doesn't bounce off the walls as much. It's pretty dead in here. So, and that only just a few panels is all it took, and it kind of just stops the sound from bouncing off the walls and everything like that. And it's pretty cheap too. Rather than buying those like Arlex foam panels for all the walls, the MDF wood is pretty cheap. You just chop strips out of it. Same with the fiberglass insulation, and then the fabric. I built all these panels, I think, for like under $100, I want to say. So that's pretty good. I even built like a little corner panel, but I don't know where to put it. I have like no use for it. Maybe there. I don't know. It's not gonna make a difference. So this is where the window was in the room, and I basically layered it with 2 layers of plywood with some air between those 2 layers, and then another sound panel over that, basically. And I tried plugging the wall the best that I could, but you can still hear a shit ton out there, and the neighbors probably hate me. Sorry about it. And then yeah, I just like doing little artwork stuff. This is kind of similar to what I had in my old room with my old videos, and I don't know. I just always drew this design, had something behind the kit, just to kind of, I don't know, tie the room together or something. And then got a little carried away, made like the signature on it. I don't know, I'm just trying to look professional. Trying to make it look like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, you got the drums here, you got the storage here. You got the laundry basket for all your laundry needs. You got the storage bin because you don't have anywhere else in the house to put them. This is my hardware bag / overhead mic stand. I don't have an overhead mic stand. I had some at home, but coming all the way out here to South Africa, I had to really limit the amount of things I could bring. So that's my overhead mic right there. Gotta have the skateboard for that stress relief. Some of you may not know, but I love skateboarding. Should we get to the goods? Alright, I'll talk about the drums. Alright, let's check out the kit. It's pretty minimalist, actually. I used to have a huge, like, 10-piece drum set, you know, toms going all the way down. I don't know how I ended up at this point, but maybe that's just the way it goes. I used to be into, like, Neil Peart and Mike Portnoy with their huge drum sets, and now I got, like, nothing here, but it's great. I love it. So, the kit is a Love Custom Drums Steam Bent Walnut Kit. I've been endorsing Love Custom Drums, geez, for like 5 years now, 4 years. And Buddy actually approached me, back when I had like no followers. And he said, hey man, like I want to make a kit for you. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I want to make a kit for you and just give it to you. And I was like, oh my goodness, Like, no one had ever done that for me. And at the time, I had a DW collector series. And after going to Buddy's house, and he let me try some of his kits, and he even made me a snare. And I just loved how everything sounded and how everything looked. He can literally make anything. Anything you can dream of, Buddy can do it. Just freaking ask him, and he'll probably make it happen. But yeah, he came to me and he was like, hey, I really want to make this steam bent walnut kit, like one thick ply of walnut. And that's basically what this is. It's a one thick ply of walnuts. And I think he knew more so the sound that I wanted than I even did, because this thing is just like my bread and butter. It's a 20 by 16 kick, I believe, 10 by 8 rack tom, and 16 by 14 floor tom. But yeah, he totally customized this for me. Like the bearing edges, I believe it's 45 on the tom, and then I think it's 35, kind of like round over on the floor tom. That way you get that like full body kind of warm, more of a vintagey kind of tone, I guess. Yeah, man, this kit is just amazing. I love it. No pun intended. It's beautiful and it sounds amazing. The snare is a 6.5 by 14 copper over brass. When I was over at his house, we made a couple videos and stuff, and he let me try this snare, and I freaking fell in love with it. And he was like, take it. Again, Buddy's the sickest dude in the entire world. Such a nice guy. Makes amazing drums. Go check out Love Custom Drums on Instagram. Like I said, anything you want, Buddy can probably make it happen. He even had BC Burnings wood burn my signature into this hoop here. Freaking sick. Alright, what else we got? Cymbals. My hi-hats, Meinl Byzance 15-inch medium. These things are great because 15-inch you get a little kind of deeper tone, and because they're medium, they're not super thin, so you still get good stick definition, which is kind of what I wanted. I used to have the Benny Greb sand hats, and I also used to have 16-inch extra dry hats. And the 16s are kind of too big, you like lose some stick definition. The sand hats were dope, but maybe I just wanted a different sound at the time. My sound taste is always changing. I always want new sounds and stuff, which I think is a good thing. I think it's good to experiment with different sounds. That's why I always like choose different tom heads every time. Like sometimes I'll get clear, and then sometimes I'll get coated. Because the different sounds almost inspire you to play differently. I feel like a lot of times when you play the same sounds, you kind of get bored or something. So it's a great way to keep you inspired, keep you wanting to play the drums. Right here, obviously, I got the 22-inch Meinl Byzance Benny Greb Sand Ride. This is the second one I've ever bought. I posted an entire video about it. I'll put it up here. The Sand Ride. Best thing in the entire world. And I got it because of you guys. So thank you for that. Right here, I've been using a stack lately. I got an 18-inch extra dry thin crash on top, and an 18-inch Byzance thin crash underneath it. Yeah, it kind of makes a cool, like, kind of deep hat sound, kind of like Matt Garska's stack or Annika Nill's her stack, kind of that type of thing. I really want to get a small stack, like those Benny Greb Crasher hats. Those things are dope. I would just love those, like right there. That would be nice. Dear Santa Claus. Alright, so Drumheads. I'm rocking a HD Dry Evans on the snare, Remo Emperor on the tom, Evans EMAT on the floor tom. I'm actually not rocking a resonant head on the floor tom as of lately because I forgot to pack it when I came out here to South Africa. But when I set it up with just the top head and I hit it, it was so dead and dry, especially with the EMAT, that it sounded like a second kick. And I kind of liked it, so I just left it that way up until this point. But I think I'm getting over that sound. But it's a really cool sound, just a dead, freaking fat thud, especially with the walnut. It's huge. So I also got an EMAT on the kick and an EMAT on the floor tom. That's like my double pedal right there. I can't do that. I got a DW 9000 on the kick. Now this thing's pretty sick. I put it through like a little chemical bath. I don't remember what gave me the idea to do this or why I did this, but I literally took apart every single piece and put it through like an acid bath to kind of get rid of all the black parts on it, and I left the red. I thought it was kind of cool. Sets me apart from all the other DW 9000 owners. I absolutely love this pedal. I've had Trick longboard pedals. I've had Iron Cobras. Iron Cobras are great as well, but this thing is a freaking workhorse. It's a beast. I've been using it for like 6-7 years now. DW 9000 all the way. Big Firth Freestyle 55A. These things are the bee's knees. I used to play the Extreme 55As anyway. So these still have that added length to it, but the taper starts a bit earlier. And yeah, I don't know what it is, but the way these just flex when I'm playing, it feels like the stick does most of the work for me. Yeah, it was just one of those pairs of sticks that I picked up, and like once you tap it on the table, you kind of just know. And I knew. Felt like Harry Potter when he picked up his wand. What about microphones, yo? So on the snare top, snare bottom, rack tom 1, and floor tom, I'm using Sennheiser E604s. They seem to work fine. I used to use a Shure SM57 on the snare top, which is like the industry standard for miking your snare drum, but I just decided to leave those back home. Again, to save money, less weight on the plane, because I had to bring the whole freaking drum set. You can imagine how big of a pain it was. And it didn't even show up to the airport when I arrived here. Imagine, you ship your thousands of dollars worth of gear across the world to South Africa, you arrive, and it's not there. I was shitting myself. But it showed up 2 days later. Thank you. In the kick drum, what are we rocking? Again, don't even have a mic stand for the kick. Rocking the Audix D6. I absolutely love this mic. It's amazing. It kind of boosts the highs and lows and like cuts the mids a bit. So even without any EQ, this thing sounds dope right out the gate. But I'm really hindering myself with the tone by just popping it in there inside the kick drum. So I think you get a better sound when you mic it right at the porthole in the kick. I gotta get a kick drum mic stand. There's a lot of things I need. So for any content creator, you gotta have some lights, you know? And I didn't want to pay tons of money for big LED lights. And even shipping things from Amazon, like down here to South Africa, forget about it. You're gonna pay tons of money in like import taxes. So I had to figure out a solution. These guys, I have 1, 2. These things are literally like home security floodlights. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for wiring these things up to a plug point and basically using them as studio lights now. God, it's pretty bright actually. But I only got 2 of them. But it gets the job done. Again, how much did I spend on that? Like, I think each light was like $15. So, pretty good deal. The lights, and then I had to buy the cabling, wire up the lights, solder the lights together. But it works. I think I need more though, I'm not sure. Also, some of you guys have been asking how I record myself, how I get the drum sound I get. I'll probably make an entirely separate video of how I record and mix my drums and all that, but it's really not that extensive. I would not consider myself an audiophile by any means. I guess just trial and error over the time, I've kind of figured out how to get the sound I want. But basically, all those mics go into my interface, which is a Scarlett 18i20. It's an 8-channel interface. I run that interface directly into GarageBand. I just use GarageBand. I don't use Pro Tools, don't use Logic. Nothing intense. GarageBand literally does everything I need. I just need to line the tracks up, a little bit of EQ here and there, and that's basically it. So for what I need, loading in 8 drum channels, recording it, mixing it a little bit, and then popping it out as a WAV file, and then lining it up into Adobe Premiere, which is what I edit all these videos with. Premiere's great. I used to use iMovie back in the day. I've never messed with like Vegas or Final Cut. I've never messed with any of those programs. Again, for what I do, Premiere works great. So yeah, I run it all into my old, very old 2011 MacBook Pro. This thing is at the end of its life. It literally crashes on me while I'm editing projects, crashes on me while I'm recording. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. But it's 8 years old, so it's kind of getting to that point, but I need to get a new computer. More expenses. I'm really nervous for the day that it just poops out on me and dies, because I'm pretty sure it's coming soon. But we'll see. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh! My camera. I use a Canon EOS M50. It's one of their new mirrorless cameras. Super tiny, but it's an amazing camera. It's perfect for this stuff. Perfect for bloggy type stuff, making these videos. It's great. Canon M50. Well, that's basically gonna wrap it up. That's all the gear I'm using. This is my little studio. I feel super fortunate to even have a place close by to play drums. Would you stop tap dancing everywhere? Hello. She's gonna be the star of the show. But yeah, super glad I have a place to practice. Shout out to the wife. Thank you. You're the best. Shout out to all the supportive wives out there, or girlfriends, who allow us to make noise and be the most obnoxious musicians in the world. Thank you guys for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. I love making the videos, and it's very rewarding knowing that you guys are enjoying them as well. So thank you. Cannot thank you enough. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Also, if you want some more lessons and stuff, check out brandonscottdrums.com. There's a few lessons on there. Other than that, happy December, everybody. It's almost Christmas time. It's a good time of year. Make your wish list. Wish for new cymbals. If I could wish for something, I would wish for those Benny Grub Crasher hats. It's probably not gonna happen. What would you wish for? Put it in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being here. I love you. Peace.